We call the meeting to order, 7 o'clock, second pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do roll call. Ben Hutt.
Here.
Dan Van Buren.
Here.
Jeff Corpenny.
Here.
Any guest speakers here tonight? Nobody, huh? Correspondence.
The only thing I have is Patty Boland shared with me a couple of other organizations that received the Lowe's grant that she wanted me to share with everyone. The city of Evanston got $24,467. Laguna, New Mexico got $90,000 for playground and renovations. Somebody else in Cincinnati got $10,000 to refurbish a vacant lot. So those are just some examples of some of the communities that got, that's my only copy, so.
Did you get the public records we requested from her on that?
I have not received it. I asked her again when she dropped that off, and she does not currently have a copy. She
Okay.
was trying to get a copy of the Lowe's grant from.
We don't know if she got the email, but she did talk to her in person about it.
Yes. That was all I had in the correspondence.
So it is a very feasible grant
Yes.
to get. I mean, it's not a joke. 10,000, 90,000.
Did she relay to you when she would be getting those?
No.
Let's see, Jeff. Correspondence. The only thing I have is that.
Do you have copies of that, or is that, do you want to keep that?
I need to keep that. I don't,
Let's
if you want a
leave it.
copy, I can make you a
Well, I can
copy.
leave it here for grant stuff. Keep all together.
What's my agenda with that? Someone else my agenda that fast. I don't need to know what's on.
I don't have the correspondence here.
I
I have some here. Some of it might be on your agenda already. I want to start out with, I did acquire a copy of the public notice, and there was something added there, and I wanted to find out who added it, and if you had the meeting or not, because I asked for, when I learned that you had this special meeting, I asked Jenny for a copy of the audio and the minutes, but I haven't got that yet. But how did it come about that you decided, because we didn't do this as a board? It says the board will hold a short meeting to discuss grant applications immediately following the junk car meeting. Where did that come from?
There was a grant that I had actually come across, looked into, and it was due before our business meeting tonight. So I actually called Dan. I said, is it okay if we go ahead and put that in the ad and do that? And so we did that. We had a meeting after the junk car meeting on the second Tuesday of this month. If you'd have been here for that, you'd have been here to.
Why wasn't I included in the?
You had every opportunity, Jeff.
No, I didn't. I was not part of the conversation. The two of you decided to hold a meeting. It was advertised.
You said it was advertised.
So because it was advertised, you don't feel like you need to include another member of the
I
board?
don't need to call you.
Could you
We've
share
been
with?
down this road in the
Could you
past.
share with the board what was done at that meeting?
We discussed some grants actually one grant that I wanted to pursue.
Do you have information on that?
I will get you some copies here. I'll have something for you probably within the next. I'll have something for you by next
Has
week.
any action been taken at this point?
Yes.
What was the action taken?
There was a grant that was sent in.
For who?
A grant that was sent in. I will get you a copy of that stuff by the next meeting.
For who was the entity?
I'm not going to allow you to sabotage it, so I will have copies for you by the next meeting.
As a member of this board, I have every right to not only know you're gonna have a meeting,
You knew.
but to be provided, no, I didn't know.
You just said you saw it, Neil.
I saw it after the fact.
You knew we were having a jump card meeting and you chose not to attend that.
I notified the board that about that time, I was not gonna be in the township. That was quite clear at the last meeting. and my attendance isn't required, but my input is. And as a member of this board, I have every right to know that you're gonna hold a special meeting.
Okay, your attendance wasn't required, is that what you just said?
The two of you decided to have a meeting
No.
without my knowledge.
Nope,
That is a
the
fact.
meeting did not have to take place that night.
There were 2 meetings that took place according to Ad.
You're right.
I had no knowledge of the second meeting
You read it,
after the fact.
so I don't know that.
And you're not gonna
Prove
tell
it,
me
prove it, prove it was after the fact.
what's the relevance.
Prove it. I have no idea that it was after the fact, Jeff, and I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you about it. I will have copies for the
Are you
grant that
s-
I had submitted
You're telling me
for you within the next 30
that
days.
the only way that I can know you're gonna have a special meeting, that you're gonna decide you're gonna have it, you're gonna run a legal ad. And if I,
We'll talk
and
about
if I
that
don't
special
see
meeting
that
session.
legal ad, then I am not gonna know you're having a meeting.
If you'd attended the jump car meeting like you're supposed to,
No, there's no supposed to about it.
there isn't?
No,
Let's move on.
There really isn't?
no, there's
You're an
not.
elected official, you're supposed
There's
to.
no mandatory thing saying I have to attend every junk car meeting. And in addition to that, I had notified the board that I was gonna be out of the township about that time. So I physically,
What day was that meeting on?
it was the day after the inventory was due, if I believe.
It was the 13th.
But it's discouraging that
And he
you
said he was gonna be gone on.
feel like that you have to do things like this.
Absolutely not.
You already stated that you're not gonna tell me what the grant was for, or who it was with.
Because I'm not gonna
So
let
you
you.
didn't want me at the meeting. It's pretty obvious.
You've already sabotaged with one grant, we
No.
had the opportunity to receive
No, I'm not gonna let,
$100,000.
I'm not gonna let you sit
No,
here
I'm telling
and
you.
make those false accusations.
Look, right here, you see this? One entity received $90,000, one received $10,000, and there was another one on here that received,
Well, that's good. They have a grant
Okay.
program, they award it to someone.
if it wouldn't have
So
been
what?
sabotaged, we had a pretty good chance of getting something.
Who says it was sabotage? You say it was.
You know, did anybody that you talked to from Lowe's refer you to talk to me? Yes or no? Did they say, you need to speak with Mr. Hutt? Yes or
The
no?
only purpose.
Yes or no?
Just say yes.
Yes or no question? Did
It is-
anybody that you call Lowe's say, I'm gonna direct you to Mr. Hutt? Yes or no?
I was never given it was the bottom line, and I'll simplify it for you.
Bottom line,
Public
yes or no?
records were created, and I have a right to see what they were.
It's a yes or no
I-
question. Were you directed to talk to me about that grant?
I
Yes
don't-
or no?
I don't
You
take
don't know how-
directions from a Lowe's employee. The reason I called there was to get copies of public
Okay.
records. Now, we already went through this before,
Were you directed
and I
to
had
talk
found
to me?
out, now I understand that Patty Boland is the one that had them.
Okay.
Do you have the records? Do you have a copy of
I
those
would have
records?
got you anything that I was able to get.
When will you get those for me?
I would have gotten you.
When will you get them?
I didn't say I will now. I said I would
Oh,
have.
but you will, they're public
No, I
records.
would have. If you want them, you go to the source, okay?
Are you the source?
Answer the question. No. Answer the
If you're not the
question.
source, who is?
Answer the question. Were you directed to speak with me about that?
I already told
Okay,
you.
we're gonna move on. If you can't answer yes or no, cut and dry, we're moving on.
I did answer the question.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No.
There were a lot of things, said, but is it?
Do you have any more correspondence?
I do, yes.
Then let's move on.
Okay, so you're refusing to tell me what occurred at the special meeting that the two of you decided to have.
We
and held.
spoke about a grant that was submitted by the township, yes.
A grant submitted to who?
We're gonna move on. I will have copies for you within the next 30 days.
30 days?
Yeah, I just said that, Jeff, 3 times.
When is this grant awarded? How much is it? Is there matching funds? Are there going to be township funds required for this grant? What does it do? What does it accomplish? Who is it with?
We're going to move on, okay?
So you're refusing to provide me the information?
Right? No, no, I'm not refusing. I'm just saying I will have you to it in a timely manner, which will be 30 days, okay?
Why?
And actually, I might have it to you sooner than that. And I don't have to tell you why, okay? So we're
You
gonna move on.
guys like to do business.
Okay, I guess I'll try to continue with correspondence. Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
If you have something else you'd like to discuss in the
I
correspondence,
do.
please do.
Please let me get my information here again. Okay, I see it's listed on here, the tire amnesty grant. I have a prepared resolution for that, so I see it's on the agenda. We had received a message early I think Jenny got it too, as a deadline for certificate of levy issues for the May 5th primary. I wanted to ask you to make sure there wasn't anything that we needed to get on there. No fire levies are due for that.
Jeff, would you speak up, you just a moment?
Are there any?
Not for May, no.
Okay.
I don't know about November, but we normally don't put them on in May.
Right, well, this is issues for the May ballot. And they're due February 4th.
I
so-
know, we
okay.
don't put things on
All
May
right.
ballot.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Under the ODOT pilot program, I did get that to Matt Hill, and he confirmed that he got it. The next step on that, if the county is awarded the grant, then he'll notify us of what we need to do from that point forward, but he did confirm he got it.
Was that for the road signage?
The ODOT pilot program for the safety signage,
I
yes.
believe that we were not qualified for that.
We voted on the motion and I sent it forward. I copied you on that as well. And on Matt Hill's message.
I had researched some online, I'd have to look back what it was, but we did not qualify for that. Our township did not qualify.
The county is the one that's doing it. It's a partnership with counties that are,
I understand that, but they're gonna pick certain areas in certain townships, and the township did not have any areas that they wanted to.
did you read Matt's grant on that?
I'd have to look back at what I saw, but
So if you
I'm
could share
pretty
that,
sure.
any information would be good to know. I did get confirmation back from Janet at the engineer's office. I did do the inventory as per 505.04. Jenny, I left the disc down here on the appropriate day for that. And I wanted to ask you if you could provide me with some blank discs so I can have them in the future. I've got some upcoming things I'm gonna wanna burn something to a disc for everybody to have a copy of. And I'm gonna assume that you have that on file, the copy I left down here, so we are in compliance with 505.04.
I haven't.
Okay. I had asked you before for a report on the late payments for public retirement. You have them?
I do not have that tonight.
How long will I have to wait for that?
Probably till the next meeting.
Okay. And could you give me an update on when you're gonna get me all the public records? We have communicated with email, but I didn't hear back.
Which ones are
The
you
last,
referring
well,
to?
the last point you told me you didn't know what you'd given me or not.
Right.
So
So
what
you need to tell me what you need.
Well, like I said in my message, at this point, when can you meet with me?
I'm not gonna bring everything down here. It's not like I have a box of community building.
Okay, well,
It doesn't work
the
that way.
concern is, at this point, you say you don't know what you've given me, and there may be things I don't even know to ask for. But,
All I have is reservation sheets, which I've given all of those to you,
except you're not
except the
doing them
rest of
anymore.
2014.
Have you created those yet for 2014?
No,
Are you going to?
yes.
Okay. The first thing I had asked for was a copy of the meeting minutes, that was way early in the year. to
Meeting
get that.
minutes of what?
Park committee. Never got that,
I don't remember you asking
That was
me for park
several
committee
times.
meeting minutes.
several times.
from what year?
And then the other part that I had asked for, which I haven't got, was all the financials of all your deposits. I haven't got that. That's just a couple examples.
Well, see, that's what I need. I need to know what you haven't got, because I
Okay.
thought I'd given you everything.
No.
I don't
I've never
remember
seen-
you asking for the minutes.
From every month forward, can you give me a copy of the bank statement? Can you bring that every month so I can review that?
Sure.
And does that outline the deposits that you're making for money you're collecting for the building?
Yeah. It just lists them as deposits. It doesn't say specifically what it's from.
Can you run some kind of a report to show what funds those are for?
Sure.
When I was a trustee the first term, there were reports that you eventually gave me each month. Could you start running those?
Which reports were they?
I'll have to go back and look and see what the titles of them were.
Okay.
You used to do that. I was copied on that email of public records request, asking for meeting minutes. Did you fill that? I asked you to send me a copy of it when you filled it. Did you? I didn't get it.
I haven't yet. I was busy doing year-end stuff and doing my beginning of the year stuff. I'll get it taken care of.
Okay. And I already said this, but I will say it again. I know that you have requested it from Patty. It's been determined that these Lowe's grants and everything, she's the one that has this information. It is a public record. You've sent an email, you've asked her in person. Any suggestions of how I
We
can?
already talked about this topic. When I get it, I will give you a copy of it. That's all I can say. I don't have it to give it to you.
Do you want her to wrestle
It's
it?
in
We've already
Patty,
talked
it's in
about it.
Patty Bowen's possession then, at this point. Ben
From
doesn't have it, Ben's mom doesn't
From
have
what
it,
she
you don't
said
have
last
it.
night, she doesn't have a copy.
Why would she be brought into it?
Well, she created it, correct? That's what I'm understanding now, is she's the one who created it, right?
I will get you a copy when I receive a copy.
Okay, the other thing is at the county association meeting, they were given a packet. Did you pick that up? There were supposed to be copies for everybody of.
Yes, and
didn't
I
get it.
left that at home. I forgot that.
What all was it besides crime reports?
The only
and-
things that, it was delinquent tax report that was in there.
Okay,
That was the only other thing.
delinquent tax and the crime report.
And I picked up a couple things for the zoning inspector, but that was
That's
it.
the same thing as in every year.
Yeah.
But there's stats from the current year, so if you could leave them down here, I'd appreciate it. I think the rest of what I had is covered in, of course, under Tyler Grant, zoning vacancies.
No more correspondence. Reports under safety. Other than,
Everything's in order. All but the furnace, we're trying to get parts for.
And the one trustees.
We need a trustee, we never have.
we need to get some cinders. We discussed that. We need to get a load of cinders in here.
We need to get another center.
Um,
I don't know who's gonna call Randy, I don't think so, I don't.
Really?
He's
You
down
don't
there.
have a dump truck.
Huh?
I'll try to dig up some of them down there, Jack.
You know them guys.
What about,
I got some out there, we'll just dig them up, bring them in.
think there's not?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a draft from last month's meeting? No?
Not no more about getting it. Does Jeremy Slack have a dump truck? My semi-tractor trailer dump?
Yeah, he's got a truck and
Does
trailer.
it know? Or is it just
I
like
don't
a belly
know.
dump?
I don't know if he's still got a dump trailer or not.
Randy got rid of
He's
it.
got 2 trucks,
Really?
what they're saying. And on.
Other than that, on safety, I think pretty decent. Fire company, zoning.
Yes. No permits were granted. Talked with prosecuting attorney about the Wes's investigation on where she was on pursuing. She wants it brought back to your table. I gave you copies of a court docket that was in 1998.
I don't think I have that.
Yeah, I gave you a copy of it.
A docket?
It's this, right here. Read out.
This one Jenny printed, is it?
No,
This,
it's with my meeting. There's also papers
One
in front
page?
of it. Stapled.
I have your timesheet, that's all I got.
No. I sat right there in front of you, so wherever you put it, I don't know.
I didn't have
Okay?
any of the stuff.
It was sitting there. Okay.
What are you
On
referencing
page
this
4
right here?
of 5.
You're right here? Or you on this other packet
I'm on the front page.
of this one?
Now we're gonna go to page 4 of 5, which I highlighted for you, as well as the prosecuting attorney highlighted the original. And that is what's on the front of the report. She would like a vote made to pursue this instead of starting the whole investigation from scratch again, because this is indicating
This is
that.
the Bowland one or the West one? Which one is this case? Because there's only one case open right now, right?
Wes?
I thought you said all the
Okay,
cases
let's
were
go back to
closed.
the beginning. Does everybody have my report?
Yeah, I'm just confused because of the
Let's
last,
go back to the
Got
beginning, to my report. Also, with that
Okay.
report on a separate piece of paper, looks like this. Okay?
Are the pages numbered?
On the bottom, it says, see page 4 of 5, in green writing. Do we got that? Mr. Corpenning, do you have that?
I have your packet here, yes.
Okay. So back to the beginning. There are no permits for the month. I discussed with the prosecuting attorney the process in which she was on with the Wes's investigation. She pulled and reviewed his court docket from 1998. She gave me these copies.
At the junk car meeting, did you bring, is this cars or what?
This has nothing to do with the junk car meeting.
Okay.
This has to do with the Wes's investigation for violation of 9.5. We've gone over this one quite a few times. It's been a couple of years. So, in that, on page 4.5, states, the court finds that the defendant's Laurel Hill property is located in an agricultural district in Bowling Green Township, and that neither operation nor maintenance of a junkyard, nor operation of towing and or auto sales and auto part business, nor use of property for storing wrecked and or salvaged vehicles are permitted use in an agricultural district. In Bowling Green Township, the court further finds that the defendants do not have a permit for these issues. It is further ordered that a permanent injunction is hereby issued requiring defendants to comply with sections 3.6 and 9.5 of Bowling Green Township's zoning resolution. Permanent injunction is issued requiring defendants to cease maintaining and operating a junkyard on their property. A permanent injunction is issued prohibiting the defendants from the use of their property for a business use for towing or for sale of vehicles or parts. And a permanent injunction is issued prohibiting defendants from storing wrecked and or salvaged vehicles or parts on their property. The matter of the defendant's fine is hereby, and that goes on further. She wants a vote on this is a permanent injunction. She wants you to vote to have this brought back into court on the permanent injunction.
She wants us to vote on it, or you want us to vote on it?
She wants you to vote on it so that she can pursue it. The trustees have to vote to pursue. We already pursued on another matter, but she decided this would be better because everything is already there in facts.
What are you referencing when you say we would pursue on another matter?
Sorry?
You said we already pursued on another matter. What are you referencing there?
A couple of months ago, we voted, probably 6 months, voted to pursue the violations of the Wes's property. This investigation has been going on for quite a few years. You know, aerial photos, land photos, all these things you complained about in the past.
So you are talking about something from 1998 here.
I'm talking about something that's going on today that was in court again prior to in 1998. Mr. F, do you understand what I'm talking about?
Do you have a resolution
Can you
prepared?
help? Can you
Because
help with
if
this?
the
Can you make a resolution?
if the prosecuting attorney is the one that wants us to do this, did she draw up a legal resolution to bring to the board for this?
Mr. Huff, do you understand?
Yes.
Is that no? Or yeah, I mean, is there a resolution drawn up by the prosecutor?
Here's what I got out of this. I talked to the prosecutor about 6 months ago about this issue, and then I didn't talk to her any further about it. What she had advised was that there was a permanent injunction that was ordered in 1998, 1999. This was this previous case. That permanent injunction means forever, so they're not allowed to do that on their property forever. If they're still doing it today, she would like to take this to the court and say they're still doing this. It's already court ordered that they have to stop. Instead of starting and building a whole new case, pick this one up and continue with this one. That's how I understood it.
Exact same thing. That's why I read what she said to read.
Well, I'm gonna move that the board table this so we can have a chance to all review whatever this is about, because it starts out, she would like to have a trustee's review on the court case in '98, so I'm gonna view that we table it so we have an opportunity to do that.
I think think that's fair to let them
But it's fair, I mean, it's only been going on for years.
table it.
It's a permanent injunction.
So are you seconding the motion?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna table that, roll call vote. Ben,
Yeah.
Jan, Jeff,
Yes. She didn't, there's no additional correspondence from Amy on that topic, is there?
not that
I
I'm
mean,
aware of.
nothing current, no, I'm not talking 98.
I'm not aware of any. Not that I received.
Do you have any additional correspondence you can give the board on that? Or is it all right here?
Gave it to you,
Okay, there's nothing additional?
gave you everything I got.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else under zoning?
Yep.
Uh, Zoning board,
Did you get any response from the ad that you put in looking for people?
I heard from one person.
Who was it and what was the position that you wanted?
when we got to the zoning board yet.
There, you included both boards in the ad, didn't you?
Yes.
Was it, which one was it for? Or did they
Well,
say?
I'm not exactly sure because the title of the email said zoning commission board, but the body of the email said just zoning board. So I emailed her for clarification and never heard back from her.
Is it a resident that we know?
It's Misty Baird.
Oh. But that's the only activity you got from the ad?
Yes.
Thank you. So we really can't vote on that, well, she didn't say which one she wants to do.
No, I asked her which to clarify and she never responded.
And what exactly is open?
There is,
Because it was the alternates, I didn't know.
there's 2 alternates on zoning commission. And there's 1 permanent and 1 alternate on zoning appeals. So there's 4 total positions open.
It's too bad we don't know which one she would want, because we could probably move a resolution to fill one of those positions.
Jimmy, is that zoning appeals you're talking about?
We're kind of talking about both boards, yes.
Okay,
But we-
I have a question, shall I wait till,
Go ahead, if it has to do with zoning appeals.
That's all I had anyhow, I just wanted to clarify what we want.
Go ahead, Mr. Skinner.
yeah, I want to step down from vice chair, and I need to, well, I understand, I want to stay on as a, just a member, but I don't want the vice chair position, and I need to know what I need to do to get, started. I think I need to call a meeting, a new meeting or something, and I need some information on that tonight if I can get it.
Yeah, we had understood that, remember with the meeting, we'd ask you if you'd stay on long enough to have a meeting,
Right.
and then you board it. Are there at least 3 members, viable members?
There's,
See, you only need 3 members to have a legal meeting. Of course, it has to be advertised, and Jenny has to do that.
Okay.
But we don't have to have a full commission if we got 3 people, that they can do that, and then
Okay, so I can get with Jenny, get the phone numbers and what I
you
need to do.
get your meeting set,
Okay,
you can do
very good.
that.
And then you guys can set up your own board.
Then as soon as you do that, and you can be relieved of that title, through the recommendation of the board, who's gonna be your leader, your president, and vice president.
Thank you.
So that we haven't made any, none of them have contacted you.
no.
You just have that, okay? Alright.
Should we, since can't really move forward on that with not knowing which one Misty wants on, should we advertise it again or just, because, if we have, you said a total of 3 or 4
We
positions.
have 4 positions that are available. I don't really want to spend the money to advertise it again. That's my opinion.
Can you you're gonna get a hold of Misty and find out?
I emailed her, I was waiting for a response.
But we do have enough members of both boards to still have quorum on both, right? So it's
Yes.
not like they can't meet if they have to. Okay.
Move on to unfinished business. Yeah,
A question. You just said if they have to meet. Aren't they supposed to be meeting? Didn't we bring stuff forward to have stuff changed in zoning a couple months ago?
All about those two issues.
Yeah,
Um,
and we've never had a meeting yet. It's now,
yeah, a date would have to be set and all that,
You're talking about the zoning board now, not the appeals
Yes.
board.
yeah.
Did you contact the chair on that? Does the chair of the board received copies of that, the requests to change?
I don't know.
We moved, I think the board here moved forward with
I will
recommending them
contact
to
the
do
chair.
So you'll contact Bob. It's Bob Saylor, right?
It is if he still
Right.
wants to do it.
Okay. Unfinished business, a couple things I had here. Things online, I guess. First one I had here was advertising for meetings. We've talked about this for several months, trying to save some money on doing that. Couple things I come across and got a little bit of advice from the prosecutor. Was we need to advertise for like our regular meetings, like our monthly meetings, our business meeting, junk car meeting, stuff like that.
Once a year, right? If
Yes.
it was worded properly.
Once a year, correct.
Which
Um,
actually I.
We did, I have the
That's
ad
fine.
right here.
But special meetings, I said, instead of spending all this money to do this every month or every other month, is there any other way we can do this? And a couple of the ways that we can, that I suggested or whatever, if we come up with some other ones, that's great. To save us the money, we can put it on our website, that would be sufficient. Put something on the sign in front of the park, that would be sufficient. But it has to be in a, give people enough time to see it, so 5 business days, something like that would be sufficient. We could also put something on the door here, or a piece of paper, or whatever. She suggested that if we decide to do that we run one ad and say, all special meetings will be advertised, example, all special meetings will be advertised on the township website and in front of the building, or whatever. And then that's how we do it from now on, and that would save us from running that ad every time.
She advised you over the phone, or do you have an email you could share on that?
I talked to her over the phone, but if you get out your handy dandy sunshine law book, it's on page 89.
Well,
and if you read
we've
about
already,
special meetings,
a lot of that looks like this ad's already covered that. In this particular ad, you went and you put it, at the end, you put a special meeting. But this ad, this legal notice here covers,
Our regular meetings,
well, it also makes the junk car meeting a regular meeting.
exactly.
So that one will not, so I don't know, you're saying all these special meetings, what special meetings other than,
So if we have a zoning appeals meeting, if we have anything about grants, if the zoning board has to meet, any other kind of meeting like that, which we've had several, it saves us that $50-$60.
How much are we spending for these stupid things?
well, what, that's great.
Approximately.
What's that cost to run an ad?
It's between $50 and $60. It's
Every
by
time we run it.
word, so it depends on how long the ad
Run
is.
one, and put the thing on the window.
Well, that's what we've
Well,
done.
as long as it's done legally, I mean,
Sure.
that's why I'd like to, if it was just verbal, before we proceed doing that, we need to make sure we don't make any errors on
Here,
that.
you can have this copy, actually, if you
Oh,
like.
you do have it?
Oh, yeah. Read this part right here, if you read B under special meeting.
This is what? Out of the Sunshine Book,
Absolutely.
2014?
Go ahead and read it. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah,
That's just gonna save us some money, what do you think? I mean, I don't know how many
Well,
we run here.
this just defines what the regular and special meetings are. This
Right.
doesn't state
Absolutely.
how they should be advertised.
So you're
I already
right,
know
but it
this.
defines the difference between it.
Right, and you've already done that with the car
And I'm
meetings.
not saying that we
All
have.
the junk car meetings from this point forward for this year should be legal, because you did it right in the second.
Absolutely, so should the regular business meetings. Yes.
Right, and that's the way it should be
But
done.
if we wanna run one more ad and say, for the rest of 2015, 2016, whatever, any special meeting this township has will be advertised on the township website, on the front of the building, that would save us.
Well, I'm gonna, I think this would be the best way to go forward. I'm gonna move that we request a resolution be written by prosecutor, a legal resolution to accomplish that. And then that way we know what we need to do in a resolution and what we need to put in the act.
Is there a second to that motion?
And I'll be happy to be the one to talk to her about that, or email her, and I can copy on it. So that way we can have it for the next meeting and be able to do it as soon as possible.
But she already told you.
She told me that, so I can let her know. So to have her do it, I mean, it's just gonna be with her to have her do it.
So you're gonna write up, come up with the resolution yourself then, or what?
We can ask her to do it, that's fine.
Okay. Is that a second to the motion?
No, you want a second?
I'll second it.
You like,
Do a roll call. Ben,
yeah,
Dan,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Just to clarify, am I the one that's gonna request it?
no, I'll talk to her.
Okay, well, I move to amend the motion that Ben talk to her and share it with the rest of the board.
I'll have that for you next meeting.
let's see what you vote.
Is there a second on the amendment to the motion?
We need a minute for it, Jeff.
If not, please read it again so I know exactly what we're doing here.
You made a motion to request a legal resolution about advertising for special meetings.
Okay, and Ben's gonna do it.
Application of social resolution for the legs are given out.
That's correct, right? Ben's gonna
Yes.
do it. Okay, yes is the vote, the answer. And that, you're gonna put that on the agenda for next month?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing I had was the bill from Dutros. I think you guys are both privy to look at it.
I didn't get a chance to review it all the way through. It's a pretty hefty price tag there.
Is there
Yes, it
a,
is.
is there a time frame on there when they won't pay it by?
I don't know, I did write the check out, but that doesn't mean I can't not mail it.
There's several things on there that I don't think were approved to have done that weren't just nickel and dime stuff.
Wasn't supposed to go in there for ball joints and stuff like that.
So, I'd like,
Says here, customer stakes replace upper and lower ball joints.
I didn't restate it because I didn't.
I didn't.
And it says customers, it says that on all those, custom, 2 or 3 places.
That's a yes or no question. We're gonna
Customer
still
stakes.
clear the table here. Did you authorize them to do the work?
I never stated anything to do, Trev, no.
I have one other person that I'll talk to. And if they didn't authorize it, then we're gonna have a dispute.
So you're saying that you don't, they did work that they weren't authorized to do?
So, to the best of my
Supposed
knowledge,
to get it
yes.
running right.
I'll leave that with you.
Which of these items, Dan, exactly, are you gonna be disputing?
The ball joints, the,
See that thing out.
Says ball joints on both sides.
yeah. I didn't,
He was taking it into
That was it?
running right.
Just
I
anything
don't
else?
know what all's,
I didn't make no copies, sorry.
that's right.
Carrier bearings.
Yeah, wasn't, we didn't say nothing about a carrier bearing or,
Remove drive shaft and replace center support bearing assembly.
An oil change, I'll give them that. If it
yeah,
needed
the
that,
oil
you
change.
know, But if it needed that.
Yeah, that's what it went down for,
Yeah.
Take it in for an oil change,
the service.
What about, for 2 or 3 months now, you've been talking about water getting in. Where's the bill for that? You
Well,
said it was
that-
really expensive.
That's it?
That's it.
Where's it talking about that?
Well, they tell them the water's gonna mess the injectors and stuff up. And then had water in the, that fill filter, wasn't it, Jack?
The fuel filter, the tank, somehow 3 vehicles got water in right here in this garage.
This is all just one vehicle, isn't it?
Yeah, but the others had them too.
Where's those bills?
We've already done took care of them a long time ago on their spread truck.
We already paid those bills?
Yeah,
When was that?
it's been a while.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So you wanna dispute this, or how you wanna proceed with that?
I'd like to just table it, I mean, it's up to you guys, if you guys wanna sign the check, I'm just letting you know.
We
that I
already
don't-
have a check cut for tonight for this.
Yes, but I frozen, can't void it and find another one.
What are the terms of it that we have with that?
I didn't see
I
for it on
asked if there
there.
was a time frame that we had to pay.
I don't see one on there.
That truck's only got 39,000 miles on it. It's already put an oil pan on it, cross number,
Ball joint?
ball joint,
Like 3 turbos.
I
yeah.
don't see it here. This is, I don't know what the terms are. Table
It's
that,
on
you want to
this
second
other
the table?
statement, and it doesn't say on that either.
Well, it's just a
That
table.
just has the total,
Yeah, it's just the total with the invoice.
what's the date of the statement?
And it just has the date of the statement, December 31st, 2014, but it says nowhere.
The only person that could've got a call on it was Don, and I'll talk to Don and see if
Yeah.
he had said anything to him, and if not, then I'll go in there and talk to him.
You want to pull that check out so we don't circulate it?
Put that back, put that back. Are you keeping that copy, Jeff?
I'd like to, yeah, she said I could,
I
right?
didn't make it.
That's fine, just keep that copy, I want it. Alright, move on from that. The Route 40 yard sale is gonna be coming out Memorial Day. It's usually a pretty decent thing, pretty big thing here. Thought about it, would like to see what you guys think, shoot around some ideas about maybe the township trying to, I guess, benefit from it. Maybe renting out some spots in the community building or something like that. I mean, I know kind of people are just kind of set up here. I mean, I don't think we'd stop that. We renting out tables, it's just an idea. I mean,
Is there somebody that's used it in the past? Or?
I know Barb had used it before, but I think, who
Right.
used it prior to you?
We were, I don't know who used it before me.
Yeah,
I know the 4-Hers used it,
right.
and it was all donations for them.
Historically, the building's just been open and whoever in the community wanted to use it was able to use it. That's how it always been done in years past.
But it wasn't just
I
4-H.
know, I don't believe
there was
anyone
other
ever paid
families
it
in
for
there.
anything.
I don't know. Yeah,
Question, you talking, township doing something to make a profit,
go ahead.
or, go set up some kind of a food stand. I mean, you know how crazy this is, and people just looking for stuff to eat. and-
I don't know what we'd have to do about a food license and stuff like that. I don't know.
But one
As
time,
long
I
as you do
did.
donation, you don't need one.
Yeah.
That's why the 4-Hers do the sandwich, they were
So if we
doing
did like-
sandwiches and baked goods.
Hot dogs or something like that, and just do
Yeah.
donation, I mean,
And they were scheduled to do it again.
did you already reserve the building?
Yes, I talked to them last year and they said no problem. No, we asked for inside, in the kitchen
I
area.
hadn't asked it.
They gonna do that this year, Bart?
Yeah,
But they're thinking about doing food, 4-H is doing it.
yeah.
Forrest is already.
Sloppy Joe, pulled pork, shredded chicken, and hot dogs. And then there's baked good items, cakes, cookies. We also have water. We don't do anything else but water. And these are the clover butts,
And they just want the kitchen area.
right?
Well, is it worth trying to do something in there to, I don't know, that was the suggestion. There's tons of people through here. What do you think, Jeff?
We've always had it open for anyone in the community to use it. As far as I know, there's never been an issue with people not being able to use it. It's always been room, people have always worked together pretty well.
I know.
I think it's
I
working.
know people
I think it's
approach
working
me, I know
with
people approach, other people and asked about setting up in yards or whatever, looking for space, so there's people from the outside, that not on 40, that wanna come in.
Well, I sit on that committee and it's way beyond the township. There are places people can do it for free, and there's places that charge, there's church groups that charge.
You know, electric furnished to these outsiders sitting out around the fence and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think so, we don't need to pay for that, so.
That's come up before, we've never discussed it, so we need to address that somehow.
It won't happen, just see it happen and it's done, it's gotta stop.
Oh my.
But we
4-H
need,
is also a nonprofit organization, just so you
well, they would be using the electric in the building, so
know. Yeah.
you just need to come up with something if you.
We're talking about
Like these
outside.
Vendors outside,
Yeah, because they can
outside
run,
the fence and stuff, and camping over there every night.
because they can run from the shelter house and stuff.
Yeah. Some of the garage doesn't let them plug in there where the international stuff.
Is this year, this last,
Now, you know what it was.
didn't happen again, did it?
I don't know, I went down there last
Because that, somebody has to unlock that to get in there,
year.
to that.
We know that, Jeff, you wasn't wrong.
No, I didn't. No, sir.
Well, you're the damnest liar I ever met.
No, that never happened. But we do have a place people can plug in the park, so we need to address it if we wanna, because
Now you have to search for that.
if we're not gonna
I was
allow
gonna say,
it.
we could turn it off to the shelter house that week.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be that big of an issue.
We have had vendors that have come for years and, like, isn't Pennington plugging into the, where's his power come from? She got his own generator.
One guy has his own generator.
I don't do that.
Lives up here on open woods.
That'd be Pennington.
Yeah.
All right.
He always brings the generator with him, small one, for that. Well, that's what they do.
Because if they've been plugging in, they need to at least be notified they can't do it if we're not allowed. But if he's covered already, if he's got his own power.
I was just suggesting if you guys don't want to move forward with it, you want to move forward. It's just an opportunity that we have.
So we got 6 unfinished business done. So where do you put that?
One other thing I had, how's the Wiseman investigation going? Do you have any report on that for us? It's been,
I did get an update on that, and I have to get the financials and everything from Jenny before I can finish it.
can we see,
But as far as,
can we see a report?
I
that
asked
Jeff
for
finished so
discs
far?
too. Sure. Get me those discs down here, I'll burn that on there. But I wouldn't really call it the Wiseman investigation. It has uncovered some things that I need answers on.
I'd like to see a
Okay.
paper copy of it if you could provide me with a paper.
Well, Jenny could print it out for you if I have it on the disc, so I guess I don't need, I just need maybe one disc, then you can print it out.
If I could have that for the next meeting, I'd like to see how
But,
much progress you made on that. It's been a year.
The fact of the matter is, when you had your hearing here, I think you relayed that you had talked to a detective, and I listened to the audio, and you said that he said it was all hearsay. It was your hearsay that came about it, and we don't have any evidence that there was any kind of crime. And, but until I can see all the financials and deposits and stuff, I can't finalize that out. So,
What
You can't- you
has
can't-
raised a red flag so far that
you
you've
can't-
seen?
the fact that, for starters, in 2014, none of the paperwork's been done. We have rules that we had set.
We're talking,
in
I'm talking about when Barb Wiseman
This
sat
all-
on that park committee
Yeah.
and also stole money from other entities. That's what I'm
Right.
talking about. So was
I
any of that
understand.
done? Have you uncovered any of that from the park committee?
I have not uncovered any crime involving funds. Okay?
That sounds like hearsay.
Now, it is all hearsay. That's the problem. You can't pursue something that's all hearsay. There has to be a crime of some sort.
You have documents, so prove it.
There's no proof that any crime was committed with township funds.
There's a lot of people that said they didn't get their deposits back.
And we,
The paperwork
that's the
said-
That's the
hearsay
crux
that I'm
of it
talking
right
about.
there.
We
People
need,
who rented the buildings, did they get their deposits back? That's where you go to. That's where it all is.
Have those people?
Everything else
have
he's
the people
doing
that
is
ran the building been
smoking
contacted and said,
you're the one that had talked with people supposedly that
I did
made
talk
that
to
claim.
a few of them. Have you
Okay.
contacted the people that ran the building and asked them? Have you said, you ran the building, did you receive your deposit back?
I still need the financials. I have talked to some people
There's-
that ran the
there's
building,
still
not
not
all
gonna
of
do
it,
it.
not all of
He's-
it.
yeah, There's it.
So you have to talk to anybody and ask them if
He'll be
they've
out
received their
August.
deposit.
What financials do you need that would show anything about a deposit?
Well, I need to see all the deposits that you've made and put in the bank.
No, a deposit
So that-
doesn't get put in the bank, a deposit gives back. You get back
No,
to
I'm
the person.
talking, you're confusing two different things here. I need
It
to
says
see,
on- it
I need
says-
to see the deposits that
Discuss
you've
that.
taken.
It says
And put in the
on
bank.
the form whether they were given their deposit back or not.
Yeah.
And I have a copy of the check or cash.
Right, and you did show me some of those forms, but I don't have them from prior years, I don't have them from 2014.
I have
I'm
given
gonna
them to
thoroughly
you.
investigate the entire thing.
That's
Okay.
not
fine,
just
that's fine,
parts
but
of
the
it.
investigation for 2014, the park committee was already done away with then.
But the rules and the contracts were not done away with. We did update it. So up until the time we updated it in 2014, there should be a rental agreement form with everybody that's done it and rented it. And after we changed it, there should be a rental form from the changes forward. There should be a rental form for everyone that's rented that building.
To be honest, I talked to Don about that, and he doesn't want to fill out a 5-page report on,
It's not that long, is it?
it is a long report. You guys voted on it.
So there's no-
It's 3 or 5 pages long.
You're right, we did vote on it, and we changed it because the legal counsel had
There should have been a
recommended
form.
change.
You're right, there should have been.
Prior to that, it was shorter, a little bit shorter, right? And
It
it was
was
longer when it
One
was.
page
Right.
before.
But you weren't even doing that. But I don't know why you didn't do it.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking about 2014, I'm asking about prior
The whole thing,
to 2014.
I'm looking at the whole thing, not
Okay, that's
just
fine,
pieces.
but I'm asking about
And
prior.
I'm not looking at hearsay. If anybody comes forward and has additional information, you know, if crime's been committed, where? Show us. The officer
Isn't
you
that what
relayed,
you
you spoke to, I don't even know who it was.
That was his job to find out.
But there was no investigation with the detective. You just apparently talked to one on some other investigation. And you asked him questions. And what you have relayed is that he informed you that you can't do anything on hearsay.
Absolutely.
And it's all hearsay.
Okay.
So
But you
where
said,
you
okay,
can't go forward
I'm
from
just
there.
curious, you said that there was some red flags. You had some.
Yes, red
What
flags.
red flags have you seen? Red
Well,
flags
I-
means that there's some kind of
Yes.
misconduct.
Yes.
Something inappropriate, which
Yes.
is,
Well, when you start looking for calendars, all the
When somebody
calendars for
carried
every
him out
year.
of the porch,
We
carried him
brought-
across, put him in
Excuse
the
me,
car,
hey,
and nobody else had him
No,
but
no,
you,
hold on.
and when you brought him back, you
Not
put him
real-
damn underneath box.
It's not even
So it's
relevant.
up to you.
At the hearing, I understand that we had, I understand Vicky Fogarty had gone online and they're probably still there, all the ones that were there. I didn't
They
get
gave
copies,
me copies
I didn't
of
get copies of
those.
those, but they're probably still online.
I gave you copies of those.
All the ones she provided?
Yes.
Okay, so we have those. Then we have like 2013, that's what was in the box. You don't have anything from 2014, but at some point Don
I-
started keeping one.
I do have one from 2014,
I know.
but we're.
I'm not, I'm
what are
talking
we
about,
Well,
Okay.
the red
Here's what I'm
flag, the
worried
red
about.
flag
Okay.
is about records and retentions for one. Because
Yes, we need to update.
I want to see calendars from all the years, because it's a record. So I looked at the records and retention schedule that you and the president at the time put into place. And it's pretty ambiguous there. If you read it and you look at it as notes, if you're calling those notes, because it's not a contract, it's just a calendar
What
with notes. If you look at your records and retention schedule, it doesn't clarify that those have to be retained. Don didn't retain them, apparently Bart Wiseman didn't retain them. So those can't be found, so I looked at your records and retentions. And I also looked back at meeting minutes, and you never had a meeting where the resolution was passed that was signed by Don Watkins, and he wasn't the president. So that's a red flag to me on the records and retentions, if it's even those kind of things are coming up when you start looking at all the details in this thing. First of all, why aren't the contracts being filled out?
I told you why. And again, Ben's talking about prior to 2000.
I'm talking about the whole
okay,
thing.
but here's the
Because there was
question.
accountability, because we did have a contract for everyone during the years from, 2010 it had been updated? I wasn't on the board then, but the contract that had been used, it said 2010. And then 14 we updated.
Okay.
Everybody else is.
So there should be a contract with every person that has rented that building
Yeah.
from at least 2010 to now.
There
But there
is,
isn't.
up until 2014, there is. From the end of 2013, there is
It should be
contracts.
done. The board voted to do it that way. I believe it was 2-1.
I didn't ask about that.
Well, you asked about red flags.
Yes, okay.
I've given you 2 of them right there.
Okay.
One is the question about the records and retentions,
Okay,
okay? Because there was a lot of commotion about calendars, right? So of course, I want them all.
that they
And I
disappeared.
know that Vicky provided some. I know that Don has started one for 14, and he probably started it into 15. So that exists.
Okay,
But prior ones and other years, I'd like to see them. Even though I don't know what they would reveal, I want to see all the records. I don't know what would be on there. I know the ones that we have seen didn't provide us with much information. The ones online didn't. From what I understand, if anything, that number's added up the opposite direction of what you would find missing, correct?
I will give you 2 names tonight before you leave. I don't want to broadcast it. I don't think these people want the names, but I want you to talk to these 2 people. They live in the village here. Okay?
So you do know who has these allegations,
Yes,
okay?
but
Fine.
I would prefer not to broadcast.
Well, you do understand that we could not move forward on it on hearsay.
Okay.
There has to be a
I will
crime
give you the 2
committed
names.
before we
Fine.
can
I will give you
pursue
the 2
it.
names, and I would like for you to speak to them. That would be part of your investigation, to ask them when they rent the building, if they can recall it, and if they paid to rent the building, and if they received their deposit back.
Well, I'm gonna suggest that what I have gotten to this point has been information gathering, okay? And it continues to grow only as I get information. I've been waiting patiently. First Jenny said when she got around to it, and then she said she didn't know when, and then she doesn't know when, what she's getting me, all right? I'm gonna suggest that what I have at this point, I'll put it on that disc, then you can print it off for everybody, and we as a board convene again, either put it on the agenda, or if you want a special meeting, whatever. We go
Advertise
over
it.
it, we go over it,
It's a special
and,
meeting.
you know, if these 2
I would
people
just
that you are relaying to me, you know, if a crime has been committed, I mean, what are you waiting for? I mean, you can't do it on hearsay.
Because if I was doing the investigation,
Well, you should be.
No,
It's a board, it's a board.
but you
but
spearheaded
it's
the
a board-
investigation.
Anything that
So when
proceeds
you have a
forward
rental
is a
form
board thing.
and whoever, and Ben Hupp rented the building, okay, on whatever date, and he paid a deposit and he paid a rental, and then he got his deposit back, yes, okay?
And we
I'm
have,
gonna call Mr. Ben Hupp.
we have that
Mr. Ben Hupp, do you
paperwork.
remember renting this building? Yes, I do, okay. Do you remember paying? Yes, how much? Okay, here's how much I paid. Do you remember putting a deposit? Yes. Did you get your deposit back? Yes. Okay,
Okay.
yes, he got his deposit back, okay. There's 1, let's go to number 2.
If the board wants to proceed meticulously in that way, then we can.
That's common sense. That's
That's
common sense.
That's
It's a
where,
reality.
That's how you do stuff, you dumbass.
but here's what
Hey,
happened,
that's
hey, come on,
inappropriate, sir.
come on.
That's
But,
just totally out.
but here's what
Of
happened,
course it is.
okay, is money was taken from these other
I can't do that.
entities or groups, okay? And I'm not saying money was taken from ours, but it very well could have been.
We don't know that there was. We have no evidence.
What
that
you're
there
That
was.
is what,
Find
they're taken
out.
from other groups?
No,
From our group, you're right.
that's the only group that matters. As far
No,
as,
no, it's
as
not.
far as
No, it's
our,
not, because these other groups reside in this community, so they do.
well, it's,
He's
for
covering up.
what we are doing here.
You stumble. That's why Mike asked him to do
So-
the investigation.
Anyways.
He knew Court Benning would do it.
One big thing I'm worried about is
Well, just go
if
ahead
the
and give me
money's
those,
worth.
go ahead and give me those names.
I will.
I'll get it straightened out. I'll be happy to talk to them in
Okay.
person.
And I would just, sure, I would prefer that you didn't publicize in these papers, that you would go talk to them first. Okay?
Fine.
And
You should have done that long ago, before
And
it was
I'd
on.
like for you to not put it on Channel 10 News, I'd like for you to not put it on YouTube. I will give you these 2 names, okay? And I'd
Go
like
ahead
for you
and
to
be
speak
done
to
with
them.
it. And like I said, I suggest that, as a board, we see where you want to proceed, because if you can't go beyond hearsay, you can't go
What these,
anywhere.
what these people were
But
telling
we
me.
also have to address these other things that are also
That's
red
fine, you
flags.
finish your investigation, but I'm also worried about
Because
that.
these are lawful things too, on records and retentions, on whether we have done it legally and that type of thing.
Well, it's been a
And
year.
it's been questionable whether we
It's
have.
been a year.
Those are all red flags. All
So
right.
we're gonna move on, it's been a year, so I will get you the names, if you could give me what you have in your investigation and maybe finish.
So just give me a couple discs and you can have all that. But basically, it's just information gathering.
That's all I had on Fair's Business.
Janet, when can I do that? Because I'd like to actually finish it as much as possible.
I will get you a disc sometime in the next.
I don't talk about just the disc, the information. All the deposits that have been put in the bank. And those, when can I have all that?
I'll let you know when they're here.
Are you going to create contracts for 2014? Or are you just, what are you going to do? You're gonna just keep this count? Where's the accountability right now in the
I'm
last
gonna
year?
talk to Dawn and see if he wants to, moving forward, do that contract, or if we need to make it shorter for him and for the residents.
Because there was never an issue prior to it being updated.
It was only 1 page,
Right.
that's why. Now it's
Right.
like 3 or 5 pages long.
But he's not doing either one.
What's that?
I'll talk to Dawn.
Because if you go by what the board's already done, It's supposed to be being done. And it's supposed to be being done last year.
I'll take care of
He's
it.
trying to set-
Why don't you make sure it gets done, Jeff?
He's trying to set Jenny up.
The fact of the matter is,
It's always
there were
trying to do
two
is-
resolutions. One of them, we passed, and it was updating it, and it was
So take
legally
care of
approved.
it.
Would you please not interrupt?
I'll interrupt you, cause your mouth has done nothing but run the whole freaking time.
The other resolution was a separate resolution, which we did not pass.
I'm still signing.
And that one was to give Don Watkins the authority to be the only one to do all of the stuff. That resolution was not passed. The one that changing the rules was.
If we pass it, it's gonna be amendment, so we'll pass it.
We need the
We did.
information from the time
We did.
he started with his park committee. That's where all the stuff's
You
missing
can
from.
confirm that, can't you, Jen?
It's from his park
We
committee.
passed one of the
Yeah.
resolutions to update the form, and that's what we're currently supposed to be using, right?
But we also wanted to give Donnie the sole power to rent that out, so it didn't get,
And that was tabled, and it never came back to the table.
I have to look back.
I don't know about that.
I'm not sure.
But either way, neither one of them have been done.
Well,
I mean,
I'm not renting the building out, are you?
My point is, the resolution that passed has not been followed. Hasn't been for, I don't know, what month in 2014. And up to that point, it hadn't been done. So there's no paperwork for over a year. Now, that, to me, that's a real concern, that we need that accountability. If you don't like the longer form, at least revert back to the old form. We need some documentation to at least get,
Yeah.
I mean, we had some accountability before, and now we've got none. There's no contract and no
Speak for
paperwork.
yourself.
Is he keeping track of his deposits and giving back and collecting them or not collecting them?
I can't answer that.
See, if
It's
he's
not here
filling
to
out the
figure this
form,
so-
it'll all be there.
What did
People
you do
paying
with the
cash,
ones you used
are
borrowed
they
from?
paying with check? Are you getting a lot of cash, Jenny, or what are they
It
doing?
varies. Sometimes it's cash, sometimes it's check.
But you're not getting anything that says, anything where he's not collecting
I don't
deposits?
think he takes a deposit. I mean, I just think he takes the $25 or the rental fee and doesn't mess with the deposit. But I don't know.
I don't know that either.
Well, just let me know when you get those discs, and go ahead and give me those names. If you think it's gonna accomplish something.
Well, I'd like to speak to him, I mean,
You've already spoke to them, and they've told you what? That
that they did not receive their deposit. And
Okay.
your words to me were, you're not gonna take my word for it. Go talk to the source.
Whether I take your word for it or not, has nothing to do with it. You cannot move forward with hearsay. If those people aren't willing to come forward at some point, a crime has to be committed.
2 names, right here. You can go speak to him. I'll give it to him wherever. No.
Okay.
Can we move on now?
Yes.
Did-
Did you have anything on this business, Dan?
No, I got it.
Oh, come on.
We already covered zoning board vacancies, right? All right.
Under new business, what you wanna talk about that tire grant?
We just need to, I don't know, I spoke to the lady and she said Jeff had the resolution all prepared, so.
Later today, I don't know, it's like 2:30 or 3,
Yes, I
did you see there was an additional email that Lindsay had come back from maternity leave?
Yes. And I responded and said that we were interested and we'd be having a meeting tonight.
Okay, there was a little bit of discrepancy from that a couple days before. In that email, it said that they had sent a message to you. I didn't get that one a couple weeks back apparently. But when I spoke with Linda Lloyd, she said if we do it tonight and we get it to her tomorrow, it'd be fine. But that email that came today said that it had to be today. So there's a little discrepancy there.
We're talking about the tire grant that we tried to apply for last year and got shut out on it. We have the opportunity to try to take part in it again. If the county receives the grant, then we can take part in it. What it is the county is gonna apply for a $30,000 grant. Townships and like the city of Newark, stuff like that can take part in it, and what they do is, it's a 10% cost share. So if they got $30,000, people would have to come up with 3. So if they get 10 different townships to take part, then each township would pay $300, to collect tires, to have an on-site tire collection in their township, whatever. it depends how many are gonna take part in it. I'm just using an easy number, 10.
That's a good.
As of this afternoon, she had only had like 6 on there, I believe.
She had
They
8 actually, yes.
She's up to 8 now?
She had 8. What it would do is the township would pay their portion of that, and then when people would bring tires, so if we paid our portion, and then we had it set up out here or whatever, and I want to bring tires in. For passenger tires, car tires, they're $1 to dispose of. Truck tires are $3. Ag tires are $10. If they have rims on them, you have to add $5 to each tire.
There was 4 last year, I believe.
That's 5, she told me. So, in a max of 10 tires at a time, she said state law actually does not let anybody transport more than 10 tires at one time in their vehicle. So, she said that they advertise for that. If we were to participate, she said they help with advertising and all that kind of stuff.
Do they collect the money or does the township collect?
She said it would be our event, that they would set up like a semi-trailer would come out. We would pick the date and all that. She would help advertise as well as we would try to help advertise, whether it be website, sign, whatever. And try to promote it for, she said some townships try to do just in your township, you know, instead of bringing people in from all over. She said for us it would become hard because we're ferried to the south, Muscatine to the east. She said the grant is for Licking County, so they really encourage just Licking County residents to use it. She said some townships had said that they were going to do a spot check to ask people for their IDs to see where they're from. And like I said, it was only 10 tires at a time. She said people have brought more than 10 tires, but made numerous trips. They had 20 tires, made 2 trips. So there really wasn't a limit on how many they could bring, but just 10 at a time. And then we would collect the money, so she said that there would be a trailer here. Nobody from the county is going to be here that day to help us do that, so we would get volunteers to help us.
They said that there could be. We can request that.
Okay, well, she said that it would be our event, that they wouldn't do that, so, we would collect the money, whatever money we collected goes back to them. So if we
That
collect.
helps pay, the money that's collected that day helps pay for the recycling of the tires.
Yes, absolutely, but we would still be responsible for our portion of that 10% cost share, but it depends how many people sign up. As of this afternoon, there was 8. If we decide to do it, that would be 9.
She's
So,
anticipating a dozen or 15, but there's no guarantee it's more than what she has for sure.
sure, so if we got 10, it's gonna cost us $300.
You've been down.
And there's another way that, on the resolution that I have prepared, I can read it. And what we can do at the end is we could add, that we can put a cap on, if we want to say not to exceed. But if there's 8 of them, we already know we're not gonna exceed $300.
Well, yeah, I mean, just.
I'll go ahead and read the
It might be
resolution.
300.
I had prepared this last year, and then you guys weren't at the meeting, so the deadline went by.
No, that's not how it was.
It
Wrong answer.
You blew it.
It's completely documented, so.
Yeah, we got my emails where you called and told them no.
Yes.
I had
Bingo,
it completely documented.
bingo.
Bullshit.
You called and told them no.
If you don't mind, we're still having a meeting
Yeah.
here,
It's about it.
even though what you're saying is not true.
Let me
It is
discuss,
true.
let me discuss how it was last year, real quick. It was the same scenario.
It
We were
was.
contacted,
And you
and
didn't
they
come
had
to
to
me.
know before our business meeting. She contacted myself, I said yes, we would be interested in doing it. She contacted Dan, Dan said yes, we'd be interested in doing it. She contacted Jeff, and Jeff said absolutely not, we haven't taken it to the board. This is a hands down
No,
positive
that's,
thing, why wouldn't we do it? It's gonna cost us $200-300, why wouldn't we, you know? That's why I got blown out of the water last year, we lost our opportunity
That's all
last
in
year.
the email.
Right.
That's not true.
What's not true about
And
that?
I did ask the zoning inspector for records, and it's funny that she supplied them all but one. And this letter right here I got from other means. It's a letterhead where you went out without your without authority from this board to take it upon
I got
yourself.
permission from one trustee. Don't go there.
I've already gone there. and
Don't
there's
go there.
documentation.
Now you're lying again.
Can I see
I've got
that?
all the
Liar, liar,
documentation.
pants on
Can I see
fire.
that?
You're gonna go straight
Don't
to
take it
hell.
with you, it's my own
I'll
copy.
show it.
All right. While you're looking at that, I'm gonna go ahead and read the resolution. I talked with her, all the information he
That
said.
was an attachment.
The only thing that I have different is last year, I know that the rims were $4, but that's not in here anyhow, but, I did talk with Linda, because Lindsay wasn't in until today, and she sent that later email. But here's the resolution, has all the information. Bowling Green Township Resolution, whereas the solid waste district Shopton Fairfield Licking Perry CFLP, the authorized official on this grant
That's why
they're
he
submitting.
says.
Excuse me,
Shut up and read.
Keep talking. Come on.
I'm listening to you.
the authorized official is Timothy Bubb, the county commissioner. This is gonna go before their board, I think the 28th, I think it's, or the 29th, whenever it is. But they had to have all these resolutions from the townships to take it to him. The contact person there is Lindsey Grimm, the director of Licking County Recycling on 20 South Second Street. Whereas we are applying for the 2015 litter collection tire amnesty grant, the grant application, if awarded, is in the amount of $30,000 with a matching required 10% fund of $3,000. If the grant is awarded to Licking County, then the Bowling Green Township Board of Trustees agree to provide a portion of the $3,000 matching requirement divided equally by all participating partners. We know there's 8 and they're anticipating maybe 15. In return for partnership, Bowling Green Township will provide one of the locations for a tire collection for participating Bowling Green Township residents. A tire collection location in Bowling Green Township will be determined and all tires will be collected within the same day. There will be a fee per tire for all participating residents, and each transaction will be documented. The grant is due to OEPA by February 2nd. Lindsay gave me these numbers, these dates. I think it was Thursday or Friday that I talked with her. I know you talked to her too.
Yeah.
Due to OEPA by February 2nd, 2015. Note at the time of this resolution, the exact number of participating partners in Licking County is undetermined for 2015. As per Lindsay O'Leary from the Licking County Recycling Program, a copy of this authorized resolution needs to be provided to her by email or delivery by January 28th. That's where the discrepancy was because Lindsay's message today said the 27th.
She said it could be invitable.
But then I emailed her and I said
Okay.
that we were meeting tonight, and she said, I will
Okay.
expect a letter or a passed resolution in the morning.
Good, okay, we're covered now. Linda O'Leary estimates the participation from township to be 6.
All right.
I'll say that again because I couldn't hear myself.
Yeah! Yeah! Yes!
Come on, keep going.
Just repeat again what Benj told us 10 minutes earlier.
This is a resolution
Yeah.
on moving to the board.
You need revolution, Jeff.
I'm gonna try to continue. Linda O'Leary estimates participation of the township to be 6 or more groups. That's been updated a little, I guess there's maybe 8.
How about your-
Each participating entity paid $250 for the program in 2014. Now, if you guys wanna add on there, you wanna put a cap on it, we can do that. But it's most likely not gonna exceed $250. But it could, if we can add on there that we agree with this up to a certain dollar amount. So I move the motion to adopt the resolution. And I'll volunteer, I'll scan it tonight and email it, drive it over in person if need be, whatever.
Is there a second to the motion to adopt this resolution?
If we don't, then we just don't move forward.
We'll move on. I'd like to make a motion that the township participate in the 2015 tire
That's what we just
cleanup
did.
grant with the township.
That's what we
I'd like-
just moved.
I'd
What
like
was
for
wrong with
Jenny-
Mike? Move.
I'd like for Jenny to go ahead and prepare a letter that says that we're interested and we will share our portion of the cost. If you do that for us,
Why would you want to ignore the resolution that was prepared with the help of the
don't question me.
people there? Don't question you, why not?
I'll second.
Let's have discussion. I mean, just because I think it's a good thing, that doesn't mean everybody else in here, but, you know, what do you guys think? Is it
I
a good
think it's a
thing?
good thing, we got a whole truckload of cars sitting over here we picked up along the road.
I mean, it's gonna save us, hopefully.
You can't-
Hopefully people bring them here and not dump them on the
Got them
road.
on the road, we got
Hopefully.
time
I
and
don't know if
money.
that's gonna happen,
People
but-
go pick them up. We got,
If we have a pile of them, this isn't the appropriate place to take those. The township,
But we can pay for it.
the township has been budgeted through they mentioned at this meeting, Dan was there, Jenny was there, at the county association meeting. There's X amount of money designated per township, and I don't remember how many tires it was.
There's also a place that you can take the tires to.
We're usually taking,
in Lincoln
at
County.
the recycling, or at the, yeah, the recycling.
But this event's not appropriate for those particular tires.
You're gonna, when you do the
That question
advertisement,
was asked at the meeting, and they said there was, they could take them if they knew they were coming.
There's so much allowed per township per year. For the ones that Jack's talking about.
Go ahead.
when you do the advertisement, are you gonna put it in the Beacon and the Advertiser and the Reporter and all that, so?
The county's
more
gonna-
people get it within the Bowling Green Township area?
She said, Lindsay explained to me that she would ask us where we wanted to advertise. They would advertise what's gonna suit us, so if we use the Advertiser, the Beacon, whatever, but also encourage us to. So if they put something in the Advertiser for us and it's free for us to put it in the Beacon, we'll be
Yeah.
in the Beacon, we can put it on the sign out here, put it on the website, whatever.
They
Okay.
make a flyer, they have a website, they use social media. They list all the locations of all participating townships and all the dates that they're signed up to do it. And there's also one that's down at the county garage that anybody can go to regardless of where you live.
We still need to do a call vote if we're done with discussion.
That's what court paying.
Since you don't want to use the resolution, I'd like to hear exactly what you're voting on, please.
I made a motion for Jenny, her letter that says to tell the county that we are interested in participating in the tire agency grant cleanup days. And
I'll move to amend that
and that we will share our
to-
portion of the cost.
to add text of this resolution to that letter that was given to us through the county.
What was given through us?
The resolution, worked with Linda O'Leary. Actually, it was.
You did that resolution.
This is,
Write that
It wasn't through
resolution
the
down.
county.
this is a resolution that was prepared
By
for
you.
last year
That's
with
it.
the help of Lindsay.
That's it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll grab from, I'm gonna do it.
Got other parts notes for the rates and things from last year. I wasn't provided with,
Who prepared this? You or the
I
town?
told you,
Jeff did,
Because it says prepared by trustee Corbett.
yeah.
right there is your answer.
Okay.
It didn't come from the county.
Yes, the information.
Anyways,
Yes,
okay,
it did.
so you have a
Okay,
motion.
there's
All
no,
right, and Dan
make sure the
seconded
record
motion.
reflects that there was no second to the moving for the amendment. Go back to the original motion, which is for Jenny to draft a letter. What's your letter gonna say?
That's gonna be up to Jenny what she wants to say in that.
Well, there's
The Bowling Green
details.
Township is gonna participate in the 2015 tire amnesty grant,
Okay,
and we'll cover our share of the portion of what needs to be paid.
okay, and you're gonna get this to her tonight or tomorrow?
I'm going to
Tomorrow.
email it if I ever get to go home tonight. So, roll call vote, Ben?
Yes.
That's part of the resolution that you're gonna do this, right?
Yes!
Jesus Christ.
I'll work with you tomorrow if you need
No,
help.
I'm gonna do it tonight when we get home, if I get home. Dan,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Yes.
Easy, what you get.
It could be a letter or an email.
yes,
Make sure you.
yes.
All right, did you guys get everything on the new business?
Nope,
We'll move on to public comment.
Yes, I'd like to know why we can't get a thing from him and the people across the street. We never had no problems, no money and no nothing, but he got his damn nose in there and they started that perk committee. We didn't have no money, she had money to go pay her bills. We don't know where that comes from besides the church and the cemetery, but he's in it covering it up. He went over and got the bills. We sit right here and watch him carry a big box of stuff out and he doesn't have nothing. We disappeared that night. Could somebody answer that?
And the false story continues.
You're a thief, you're a liar, and everything else.
We have an
You know,
ongoing
this
investigation.
public slander's enough, Jack. Enough's enough. That
You're
is
good at
totally,
that. You're good at that.
that is totally
Libel,
uncalled for.
slander. You wrote the book on that court.
All right, any other public
It's totally,
comments?
it's totally uncalled for.
Moving to public.
So are you.
Yes, when you plow the roads, could you possibly drop the blade down?
We don't do that.
Oh,
We're not allowed to do that.
and can you put some cinders on those big hills up over at, up there toward, I can get my roll back up that hill.
What hill?
I don't know what they call it. That's Jimmy White is there, 'cause you can't get a run.
Oh, around the corner up to the woods there.
Yeah,
If it's slippery, we'll about recenter it.
if it's slippery.
Yeah. I know it's icy. I mean, it was 10 degrees today. Yeah, absolutely.
Usually when I take off, nobody's done anything.
Yeah,
So I get the first.
Well, you know why you're out there first.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you get all the people that can't drive that are in this.
right, yeah.
I actually had a resident call today and wanted me to tell whoever's been plowing the roads that they're doing an excellent job.
Good. That's good to hear positive.
He thanks you.
And I think they were doing an excellent job too.
It's good to hear positive. Definitely, it's no problem. Call. I mean, if you see something, call me. You know, but if it's slippery, we'll have to resend it.
All right.
No problem. Any other public comment? Right. No other public comment? All right.
I'll move to pay bills.
I'll second.
Slow down.
I'm freezing.
What happened? You got an electric heater?
And what are we gonna do about, Easter?
I'll give you some names back home.
When did you have trouble getting up that hill, Paul?
Pardon?
When did you
Pass
have
those
trouble
around.
After, after
Yeah.
it gets run on. After it
Wait
gets
for you to
run.
sign all of them, dude?
No ice on there now.
Well, this was 2 or 3 days ago.
There's some reason.
Or whatever it is. Because
Yesterday,
you can't, you have to slow down to go around the curve. If you pass me, you have to slow down to go around the curve. If you try to go fast around the curve, then your back end will slide down. So all my weight is in the front, and the back don't have no weight.
Okay, the first check, you already
I'm
signed
having
these
to go down
down?
over the hill part
Yep.
time. and-
All right, first check's Jeff Fortine, this time, well, you've all signed it, 4571, 62325. Jenny Duvall, 4572, $894.77.
Got what?
Jim said it's perfect. He called last night.
Hill?
When did you sign
I
it?
wasn't over
5
there.
minutes ago. We were sitting
I was sitting here while you was
I
talking.
agree with you.
Before we started paying bills?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're paying them now then, Jeff. We got it.
so you want me to give them to Jenny then? Jack Richard Hilges, check 4573, 13811, so you wanted that time sheet, no, you want Don's back,
I
right?
went Dawn's back.
13811. Check 4575, 16715, Marge Salee. We had her time sheet, right? So
Jack.
just one for her.
Jack. You'd asked how much it cost to run an ad. The last ad that we ran was $56.
16715, check 4575.
Huh?
Said you'd asked how much it was to run an ad. The last ad we ran was for
4576, Daniel Nelson Van Buren, 62138.
$56. So, wow, dude.
We'll spend $1,000 every year just for damn nothing. Cause he wants to advertise.
Don Watkins, check 45757,
I did away with it.
$260.42. Got more? Are all these listed today on
Yeah.
MNCO?
I know I'm somewhere, really.
You guys live in the schoolhouse?
Nothing in that,
Oh,
right?
I'm being big deal.
Hi there.
And I'll keep these too.
So do you have school every day?
Every day.
Next one is MNCO 4569,
No.
check $56
I'm
for
usually in the
legal
red truck
notice.
down on the road.
Oh, okay.
Donnie and Benji plows it down with the truck.
Okay, so you're in the truck.
Yeah, well.
No, I was in the truck.
If we look like we, look, you look like
Don.
these two.
I didn't see the truck back.
4563, Ohio Public Entity Consortium,
Yes.
I get in that truck. Man, I'll tell you what, I'll beat up.
4632.49.
I ain't no room in it. Ain't no room in it.
Maybe that's what it
Don't leave one ounce. Don't leave 1 ounce. in here, but-
Oh, okay.
4568, $260, Licking County Township Association.
Really?
This is for the annual dues,
We'll stay down on the floor.
right?
Exactly.
$260.
No, it's
I thought we paid this prior to, this is for 2015.
You can't do nothing but that.
Yes,
No.
you pay it every
We
year.
got room pretty well where I want. That was so-
4570, US Postmaster, $49.
Oh, you get it, that's a cheap jet.
Beginning of the year, I know,
Where's your better half at, Robert?
4565, Marshall Lee, this is 6698.
I'll have a say.
You're saying that there's a phone, then she went to waste money. I don't know.
She's in
Bothered
the,
me.
who's in the nursing home?
She's
Same,
saying.
58 cents is the current one on mileage.
Well, you get some rest, it's all ready to go.
Yep.
Oh.
57.5.
Is it?
I'm going in.
No, they're busy.
4567, $1,106.
That time of year, I think they're getting busy. Making new more ads.
She still got her stuff.
Oh, yeah. You got judges in.
You see any deer out there, I know them by 100.
Yeah, my nephew got
So the
two.
last one,
On the mountain.
They ain't many deer.
Licking County Treasurer, Stephen Watershed, $36.
You can do that.
I'll stay out of her animal business. Yeah. I say, people call about foxes and skunks and raccoons, I don't know. I don't know.
I just see you still got her stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Still shipping.
yeah.
Are these on the same property or is this for like all
Different parcels.
Total is $36 for 2015, because it says first half on this one.
Property.
I paid for the full year.
Check 4566, that's the last one we did adjourn.
We've been trying to keep it moving.